Hello there, Internet! Version 2 here with Kingdom Hearts 3! After, like, a fuckload of years, like 18 years for people who have been playing the series, and for, like, still, like, 6 or 7 years with how long I've been doing it on the channel for. Nah, it's probably closer to 5. But still, after all of this time, Kingdom Hearts 3 is here. We are in there. This game is real. It has actually come out. It is a physical disc that I was holding earlier, and now my PS4 is holding it. And here we fucking go. Tetsuya Nomura. He's got a little dialogue thing in the collector's edition book that I have, like, talking about stuff. Hey, Ericus and Xehanort. I can immediately recognize that's Ericus. Man, it's weird seeing Kingdom Hearts look this good. I mean, it did that in Birth by Sleep still. Also, I was planning on having a PS4 Pro for this, and then it turned out to be too expensive. So hey, if this game doesn't play at 60 frames per second for this LP, I apologize. It was cool in Grim Dot Distance when we had that, but it may not do that for this one. And this is a very somber version of this music that we've got. I don't know if it's copyrighted enough to the point where I can't upload the video for it, so I don't know if we're gonna have the jazz cover going over this, but hey! Look at us go over, like, the entire series, because we're starting with Birth by Sleep. I mean, we're not covering X here. Or Chi. We're immediately just gone to this. This is all the Birth by Sleep stuff that happens. All of the story that mattered for the first half an hour, and then the last, like, 3 hours. Well, it's hard to say that, because the game started and restarted multiple times. Ericus and, Xehanort playing chess. Now we've got Kingdom Hearts 1. This awesome cutscene. Oh, they're playing like 3D chess or something. It's got all levels on it and everything. I guess that's meant to symbolize the whole balance of light and dark thing that they've done. That kills him there for reasons. Don't worry, we are gonna cover what we're seeing right here in way more depth soon. Don't worry. I'm just gonna let this play out and then we're gonna cover that. I like how much we're showing of Ericus, despite the fact that Ericus is, long dead. Chain of Memories, being a game that only I like and seemingly no one else cares for. I understand why, but still. A giant time turner thing there. Is that meant to be the cornerstone of light that's in the, Disney castle, but not there? And now we've got Days. And the emotional aspect of Days being the best part of the game, and the best emotional aspect of any of them. That amazing cutscene, this good cutscene, this cutscene that, like, they ruined the thing of, this awesome bit here, at the beginning of Kingdom Hearts 2. These two still playing chess, really when they're way younger. I guess that's why they're still becoming masters. This moment, oh, this terrible boss fight! And when Maleficent was on our side, the 1000 Heartless fight, one of the actual, like, super hype moments of that game, purely because it actually fucking did it. Again, the story only mattering at the beginning, middle, and end of each game, and the rest of it just being Disney stuff. This awesome finishing attack that we had on you. Coded, a game that exists. Data Sora. The gameplay of the game being kind of shit outside of boss fights, but the story of it giving a lot of character depth to Sora as a character. Even though it's not the real Sora, it's still character depth that applies to the real Sora. So the whole point of it is that any type of Sora will be this, regardless of what happens to him. Because that's who Sora is. Dream Drop Distance, where this game got confusing, well, this story got confusing, and that's saying something considering all the other games that came up to it. Like, the story in Dream Drop Distance is nonsensical and dumb and weird, but it is all done to set up an incredibly hype setting for what Kingdom Hearts 3 will be. So I can appreciate it for that. As I said, its story is dumb, but what it ends with and where it's saying the next game has to go from here based on its ending is fucking phenomenal. These cutscenes from Fragmentary Passage. I think they're from Fragmentary Passage. Oh, it's got the Kingdom Crown on it. Kingdom Hearts 3. Interesting opening that it was mainly cutscenes from previous things instead of being like the one where it's just like all of the symbolism with unique cutscenes. I mean, it totally makes sense. This is the build-up of all of these games here. Oh yeah, just focus immediately on the Sora button. Know your fucking audience immediately. Oh, he's eating part of the friendship flower thing that makes you friends forever in the first one. And he's facing away and he's on his own. Kingdom Hearts 3. It is actually here. Hey! Starlight unlocked. This item we automatically add to your stock when you start the game. I grinded way too much in Kingdom Hearts Union Cross in the minigames for Classic Kingdom to get this. But hey, we got it! Memory Archive has been added on the title screen. Okay, before you stream, here's this stuff. Copyright work. Yeah. You're not allowed to make money off of it. Alright, okay, Memory Archive. Is this just the previous things? Oh my god, is this actually just a thing showing off all of the previous stuff? Is that actually what this is? Shit, okay. I didn't realize this was a thing. I have like a whole thing, because I was making a video explaining everything, and I was in the middle of editing it, and it just took way the fuck too long to edit it, so I was just gonna read out this. Should I just play through all of these and just watch this instead? Just play through all of the memories? Should we start with that? I'll just upload 2 videos, one that's this in the lore, and that's episode 0, and then there's episode 1, which is the actual thing, and I'll just put them up at the exact same time. I might do that. I don't know. Let's do the play all thing. How in depth does this go? Because the thing that I've got is a 5-page Word document. Fuck it, let's just play all. We're starting the video game by not playing the video game. We've got to catch up on everything. And if you weren't a bad guy and were halfway decent about it, they would save you at the end. Sorry, I'm doing story so far, Kingdom Hearts Departures. Hi, Charity.
Do you remember this story?
Kingdom Hearts 1! We're not gonna cover X at all, are we? As darkness closes in, a boy named Sora reaches for light and is granted power.
Sora and his friends Kyrie.
Oh, you're actually reading it.
The 3 are inseparable, and they believe another world is waiting out beyond the sea.
Sora, don't ever change.
Huh?
Once we set sail.
So we're gonna get like a little
It'll
cutscene
be
stuff for
great.
this. I mean, this is a way of describing it. I just don't know how in-depth it's gonna go in terms of the specific things that happen.
The door is open, Sora. Now we can go to the outside world.
Sora wakes up in an unknown world, and before long he meets 2 courageous companions.
It's hard to say how much this is gonna cover.
And a knight named Goofy.
Hey, why don't you come with us? We can go to other
Can we leave
worlds on
Donald
our
behind?
vessel.
They embark on an adventure and make countless friends.
Disney movies that don't matter to the plot, even though the whole thing is it's a crossover.
Where are you from?
And a few enemies.
Ah, the boy who holds the key.
This world will be plunged into darkness.
Hi, Maleficent.
Coming this far, there's no way we're gonna let that
You never stop
happen.
showing up.
Just as
It's really
Sora
hard to
is
say how long
starting
this is
to
gonna go
grasp
for.
the power of the key,
Or how in-depth it's gonna go. It's not going in-depth at all right now.
Riku.
Like, not even slightly.
It is I, Ansem, the Seeker of Darkness.
I know
I like,
now, I don't need
I,
the key blue.
I like how often they show this, because
need
it's
a
the
weapon.
one
My
fucking good
friends
cutscene in the
provide
game. Although that line there was from the bad cutscene before it. But whatever.
But that's just the beginning of the tale. Little do Sora and his friends realize.
Is that seriously
fate
everything
has
you're
in
covering about
store
Kingdom
for
Hearts
them.
1? You're not even talking about the ending? Should I skip this? Because that was... If that's the entire description you're giving a Kingdom Hearts 1, that is hardly fucking anything. I feel like I should just do my own thing. Because that was hardly anything. Yeah, that was... Okay, can I skip this? I'm just gonna go back to the Memory Archive menu. That was hardly anything. Wow, okay. So that was hardly anything. So instead, let me read out my thing. Because that was fuck all. That was their description of Kingdom Hearts 1. Wow, alright, okay. I'm gonna go through this, and I'm gonna do it in chronological order, because it makes more sense to me to do it that way. Thanks to, like, the billion fucking videos that are online that are retrospective, so I could, like, go through all of them and get all the missing pieces from everything. So we start with Kingdom Hearts Chi and Kingdom Hearts Chi back cover. That's when the world was whole, all the worlds were one world. Kingdom Hearts gave the light to all of the worlds, and it was all together. The Master of Masters realizes that, hey, there's a Keyblade, or an X-Blade, whatever the fuck you want to call it, that controls Kingdom Hearts. What if I tried to get it? What if we tried to get it? So his plan is, alright, all of my 5 masters, here are your books that can read the future. Tragedy is coming. Prevent it. Bye. He also turns around to one of his apprentices, Lushu, who wears the same clothes as him because he has no senpai complex whatsoever. And he's just like, hey, here's a box. Never fucking open it. Take it with you, but never, ever, ever fucking open it. And he's also like, oh, also, here's a Keyblade. It has my eye in it. Pass it on to everyone in the future and just keep passing it on so my eye's in it so I can read the future, so I can write the book of prophecies that I'm giving to all the other people, because, well, I'm giving it to you now and I already know this is all going to happen because I can already see the future, so let me do all of that. Lushu fucks off. The 5 masters end up turning on each other because they all think that one of them's a traitor and they don't know who it is, and basically the master manipulated all of them into thinking that they're the most important one and that they need to take these actions to be able to prevent the disaster from happening. And he basically tricks them all into thinking that they're the main ones and that what they have to do and what they end up doing by what he suggests for them to do makes the others turn on them. They all turn on each other. They all fight. They cause a massive Keyblade war. In the process of the Keyblade war, the Keyblade is broken into multiple parts. The worlds are separated and shattered. Kingdom Hearts disappears. The world is completely fucked. Ava manages to have a group of people called the Dandelions that she had in her particular union. She's one of the 5 masters there. And she has her people carry on into the next world to be able to basically restore the world from that point. Then, literally who the fuck knows how much time passes. If I go to my book here that I got with the collector's edition of this and talks about Sora's journey and talks about those things, it says Keyblade War, a long time passes, and then Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep happens, and it says after that's a 10-year gap. So literally who the fuck knows how long, because Nomura doesn't know. Xehanort is on Destiny Islands, because of course he lives there, because it means he's connected to Sora. He is visited by a person in a brown cloak who turns out to be Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, who comes back to him, gives him the power to travel through time, travels him through time into the last game in the series. Things happen there, they fail, he comes back. Xehanort on the Destiny Islands doesn't remember what happens there, but he remembers the ability to travel through time and how to do it, and also keeps within his heart the idea of wanting the Keyblade, wanting to recreate the Keyblade and all of that stuff. And he remembers all of he keeps that feeling within his heart. Which does mean that the entire purpose of Xehanort starting everything that he does is because of what he himself told himself to do in the future. But hey, that's fine. That doesn't matter. So then, Xehanort meets Ericus, person you saw in the cutscene with him there. They train to be masters. They have slightly different ideas of what the world should be. Ericus believes everything should only be light and all darkness needs to be eradicated. Xehanort believes there should be a balance between light and dark, and they're at odds a lot for this. Xehanort, realizing that he's getting super fucking old, is just like, I need a person to be able to put my heart into so I can take over their body, so I can be young again, because I'm about to fucking die, because I'm old as fuck. First person he tries this with is Ventus. But Ventus just kind of fucking dies instead, when he has enough of his, heart given into darkness and extracted to put his heart into him. So Xehanort's just like, cool, I'm gonna dump this kid's body on fucking Destiny Islands and just let him die. But the darkness I extracted out of him, Vanitas, what if I use Vanitas to try and create the Keyblade? In a thing that I'll explain in a second that makes no sense. Ventus, while super dying, but he's on Destiny Islands, so the light in his heart reaches out and touches the light in Sora's heart, and resides within him so it can be healed while he's broken as fuck. It's eventually healed, Ventus wakes up, part of his heart is still in Sora. Then we get to the point later on where that's Terra, Ven, and Aqua, and they're all training together. Terra and Aqua do their Keyblade Mastery thing. One of them gives in to darkness. It's Terra, because he's a dipshit. Xehanort manipulates Terra into giving more into the darkness, turning him against his friends. Meanwhile, now that Ventus is here, he's just like, okay, what if I give Vanitas and Ventus a heart of pure darkness and a heart of pure light to fight each other? And that'll create the Keyblade. For reasons that are never explained. Because every single other interaction with the Keyblade, it's made from something that is not that. But that's what we're going with in Birth by Sleep, apparently. That it's just a heart of light and a heart of dark fighting each other, and that creates it. Probably why it creates a shitty broken one in that game, because it's not the right fucking way to do it. But whatever. Meanwhile, while they're doing their fighting and everything like that, and Terra's going into the darkness, Terra finds Riku and is just like, hey, you're a 10-year-old kid. I'm gonna give you a Keyblade and, like, sign you up for a future of just having to fight all the time. Because you seem kind of cool. Meanwhile, Aqua, while in Radiant Garden, meets Kairi and fucking accidentally does the same thing for Kairi that Terra purposely and deliberately went up to and did a specific thing to Riku. So now Kairi has the Keyblade, or the ability to use it. Because fuck it, who cares? It's Birth by Sleep. The story's dumb. Ericus is just like, you know, I could have stopped Xehanort at any point trying to do this and manipulating all my students, and could have just, like, not let him do it in front of my face, but now I can't do that. So now I better murder one of my fucking students to stop the end of the world happening instead of trying to do anything else that would actually make sense with it. So he tries to kill Ven. Terra's just like, yeah, that's kind of fucked though, and stops him. And then it's just like, well, your plan sucks. So Xehanort just kills Ericus. And everything stupid that Ericus does is now not going to continue happening because Ericus is finally fucking dead. And then all of them are just like, hey, so Xehanort's probably evil, right? Yeah. Well, he's in the Keyblade Graveyard and he needs us all to go there. So we should probably go there. So they go there, they fight. Terra gives his heart into darkness. Xehanort takes over his body to become Terra Xehanort, so he's now in a younger body. But Terra's will is left behind and becomes Lingering Will, which takes over his Keyblade armor. They do fight. He kind of beats the shit out of Terra Xehanort enough to knock him out, and Lingering Will stays behind. Meanwhile, Ventus, Vanitas fight each other. They form the Keyblade. It's a shitty broken one though. They fight and shut each other's hearts. Ven takes a lot of fucking damage doing it, but thankfully, Mickey and Aqua are there, defeat the Vanitas that is outside, that is inside their hearts, break the Keyblade, Vanitas fucking disappears, but Ven's heart is fucking broken as shit. Once again, goes back into Sora, but it's really fucking broken this time. So, Ven goes to sleep and is unable to be awakened. Aqua takes his body, takes him to her old master's thing, Erica's place, the land of departure, turns the place into Castle Oblivion, hides Ventus in there so no one can find him while his heart is restoring. Then Aqua goes over to Radiant Garden, finds Terra Xehanort. It's just like, who the fuck are you? They do fight while she's trying to free Terra's heart from Terra Xehanort and get rid of Xehanort. She takes a lot of damage. They both start falling towards the Realm of Darkness. She sacrifices herself and lets her go to the Realm of Darkness to let Terra Xehanort survive on the outside, and she falls into it. He comes back out. He remembers he's Xehanort and doesn't remember being Terra at all, but loses all memories and just remembers that, oh, I'm Xehanort. And then Ansem the Wise comes along, takes him in as a pupil, and then eventually starts training him. Then a bunch of time passes. Xehanort starts getting his memories back. There's a bunch of other princesses with Ansem. They start working together to be like, hey, let's make some Heartless and to find out the nature of a heart if we distract the darkness out of people's hearts and make them heartless. And Ansem the Wise is just like, what if you don't do that? Because that shit's fucked. And then they keep doing it because Ansem the Wise is like Ericus, where he's just like, instead of stopping the problem, I'm just going to sternly tut-tut and not actually do anything about it until it's way the fuck too late. Eventually, they get to a point where they're just like, yeah, we're not dealing with you anymore. Fuck off. They beat the shit out of Ansem the Wise. I can't remember exactly what happens to him there, and I didn't write it down here. But they do that. Xehanort turns around to all of his people that he's got with him. He takes on Ansem's name just to make shit confusing, because Ansem was the villain in the first Kingdom Hearts game and makes it really confusing, but whatever. Then they start creating the Organization 13. He takes the hearts out of all of them, creates the Nobodies of all of them, and that is their Organization 13 that they're making. And this in turn creates Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, Xehanort's Heartless, and Xemnas, Xehanort's Nobody. Fuck, there's so many names here. Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, his plan, now that he's a new formed being, is I'm going to make my own Kingdom Hearts, using the hearts of all the worlds combined into one massive artificial Kingdom Hearts made of the worlds. And Xemnas decides, I'm also going to make an artificial Kingdom Hearts, but I'm going to make it out of the hearts released from Heartless using the Keyblade. I think specifically artificial Heartless that they have, like, forcibly made. So they both had their own plans to make their own artificial Kingdom Hearts to try and recreate the Keyblade to make the Keyblade War happen. That is always their goal. I don't know whether Ansem, Seeker of Darkness and Xemnas were aware that's what their goal was, but their memories of Xehanort allow them to still take on this same thing. Meanwhile, Ansem the Wise is just like, I super fucking lost. I'm now in the realm of darkness. I'm going to use dark powers to escape. And then he starts referring to himself as Diz, Darkness in Zero. And then he goes to Twilight Sound to just be like, what the fuck should I do? Time passes. Sora, Riku, and Kairi are on Destiny Islands. And then it's like, let's leave. Riku's just like, hey, I opened this door and there's a bunch of darkness and now there's pathways to other things and I'm giving into darkness super easily. And then Sora meets a person in a brown cloak who is Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, traveled through time, sacrificing his body to only be a heart that travels through time. Destiny Islands is lost. The heart that Riku was meant to get off Terra decides that, no, you give it into darkness, so I'm going to go to Sora instead, who can also use a Keyblade, Ventus's Keyblade, but he can't do that yet. So he kind of just like takes that one. Riku gets lost during everything being absorbed into darkness. Kairi's heart goes into Sora's to protect it from the darkness, but her body's also fucking lost. Sora ends up losing Destiny Islands, ends up in Traverse Town, and that's where he meets Donald and Goofy. And Donald and Goofy were there to just be like, we were told by Mickey to meet someone who had the Keyblade so we can go out and do big adventures and save like the worlds and everything, while Mickey went off and did his own thing. So they go around, they meet, they go through the Disney worlds, they do all the things, level design's bad, seal all the keyholes in all the worlds to protect them from the Heartless taking over the worlds to make their worlds give into darkness, so Ansem, Seeker of Darkness can create his artificial Kingdom Hearts. Sorry, I just gotta scroll my page to go to my next one. Oh yeah, Maleficent, yeah, still being a villain, finds the Princesses of Heart. Now, it's not revealed in this game, and it probably wasn't planned in this game, but the Princesses of Heart each contain one of the 17 fragments of light from the original Keyblade that broke when the Keyblade War happened. It also broke into 13 pieces of darkness, which are kind of just around, and Xehanort plans to obtain all of those. But they have the 7 pieces of darkness all within them. But she also plans to use all of those to open the keyhole to the world of Kingdom Hearts that Ansem, Seeker of Darkness has created, so she can take it for herself. Now, Riku is working with her because he's a fuckwit. He's then possessed by Ansem, Seeker of Darkness by giving into darkness too much. They fight Sora. Weird cutscenes happen about Keyblade swapping over with the power of the heart, even though the person who has the weaker heart in each individual cutscene there is the person who ends up getting it, and it makes no sense, but they kind of just swap them back and forth terrors. And Sora never gets the ability to use Ventus's at any point during this, which I don't quite understand why he just keeps using terrors. Eventually he's able to, but not until Kingdom Hearts 2. I guess he doesn't have a strong enough heart to be able to tap into Rox's, into Ventus's, or maybe Ventus's heart is damaged too much. But that also doesn't make sense for another thing later. But that happens. Sora gets through all of it, beats all of them. Learns that Riku is possessed by Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, beats him, tries to seal the keyhole to stop anything from getting into the world of that he's that Ansem, Seeker of Darkness has created with the Kingdom Hearts. Realizes that he can't do it, gets the Sword of People's Hearts, commits Kairi, frees Kairi's heart from his body to put it back into Kairi's body to finish the keyhole, which, while unleashing a bunch of Heartless, also means that you can now seal it and actually prevent it. Sora does turn himself into a Heartless at this point, and also, unknowingly, turns his body into a Nobody, Roxas, and also Kairi's body into another Nobody, Naminé, 2 Nobodies who break all the rules because of the very nature of the way they were created. Kairi finds Sora's Heartless, hugs him, somehow that brings him back into a normal person, even though Roxas' body is still a thing. They seal the hole. Sora travels to the end of the world to meet up with Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, and they do a bunch of fighting, and a bunch of things happens, and then Ansem is just like, nah, fuck it, I'm gonna open the door to Kingdom Hearts, and I'm gonna get the power of Kingdom Hearts, and then I'll beat you. And then it's just like, yeah, but Kingdom Hearts is light, and you're being a darkness, which just fucking melts the face off of Ansem, Seeker of Darkness. Now, that door that opens, that was filled with light, and was meant to be Kingdom Hearts, it's then revealed about 4 seconds later that that door actually leads to the Realm of Darkness instead, and isn't Kingdom Hearts, and isn't filled with light, and is actually filled with darkness, and that Riku and Mickey are in there, because they traveled into the Realm of Darkness to seal the door from the Realm of Darkness, to make sure that the Realm of Darkness couldn't infect, basically, Kingdom Hearts. Even though leaving it open would solve a bunch of things, a bunch of them could get out, but whatever, they needed someone on each side to seal it, so Sora seals it from one side, Mickey and Sora stay in there along with Aqua to seal it. Kairi goes back to Destiny Islands. Sora's just like, I would, but I gotta go find Riku and Mickey, so I'm gonna stay behind and try and find them, and then it's like, I promise I'll meet up with you later. Then, Namine, the Kairi's nobody, created from Sora, is found at Organization 13, who now have actually 13 members, at Castle Oblivion. And Roxas is found also, I think, at Twilight Town, and joins Organization 13. Organization 13 plans to use Roxas, who's able to use a Keyblade because he has Sora's Keyblade, which is technically Ventus's Keyblade that he's using there, and Sora's. Sora's Keyblade's still a confusing thing, and he just gets his own at some point that's separate to everyone else's, but whatever. Roxas plan, the Organization 13's plan is to use Roxas's Keyblade to free Hearts to make the artificial Kingdom Hearts. Xion is created as a replica of Roxas in case that plan doesn't work, and she can be more manipulated into becoming what they need to do for that. They become friends with Axel, they start growing their own hearts, they start becoming friends. Meanwhile, Organization members are sent to Castle Oblivion to find Namine and to basically take over, I think they're only sent there to like fight off Sora and to find Namine. Sora ends up at Castle Oblivion, just kind of wanders into it, and the moment he enters, Namine fucks with his memories, changes a bunch of them, and makes him remember that Namine was a thing that existed, and he keeps losing more memories and just not losing memories of Namine that are fake as he goes up there. He murders like a bunch of people that are part of Organization 13, but they're all people who are planning on overtaking Organization 13 by turning Sora into their own puppet instead of giving him as a puppet to Xemnas. But they all die. They all die super hard. He gets to the top, finds Namine. Namine's just like, yeah, I made all those memories, they're fake. And Sora's just like, yeah, but I remember them, so I still feel attached to them, and I still feel attached to you. Because I do remember you, even though it's fake, I still remember it. And then she's just like, well, I can fix your memories, you'll just forget me. And then he's just like, that sucks, but I'll make sure I won't forget you. We write in the journal, thank Namine, to make sure we come back and actually thank her after we've forgotten her. He goes in there to restore his memories. Him falling asleep and trying to restore his memories fucks with Roxas. Roxas falls asleep a bunch, wakes up, learns that everyone who was sent to Castle Oblivion died, except for Axel, because Axel's fucking dope. Meanwhile, while all that's happening, Riku, from the Realm of Darkness, appears in Castle Oblivion. I don't know if that's explained in any capacity other than, oh, he's just there and now he's a playable character. He goes through, murders a bunch of the other Organization 13 members, finds Namine. Namine explains to him what the memory process is, and he's just like, alright, well, I'm gonna go off and find Roxas, because we need Roxas to restore all of his memories. He also struggles with not being overtaken by Ansem, Seeker of Darkness still a bunch while he's doing this, but he manages to fend it off. Diz finds Namine, and it's just like, oh, you've got Sora as well. Alright, well, let's go hide out in Twilight Town, because Castle Oblivion, well, they know that you're there. So let's go do that there. And then Roxas, over the process of Sora regaining his memories, starts getting some of Sora's memories, and stealing them away from him. So does Xion. Xion starts getting some of those memories too. Xion meets Riku. Riku's just like, oh hey, you've got a connection to all of this. You're a replica, and you're gaining some of this boy Sora's memories. We need your memories and also Roxas's memories to actually bring Sora back, because he won't wake up until he has all of his memories back, and you've kind of stolen some of them, so can we have him back? She's originally just like, nah, but then she later decides, yeah, because her getting her memories back is fucking with Roxas, and she's just like, this is what we're meant to be, and I'd rather be where I belong. So she's just like, yeah, I'll go and do that. While she's in the process of doing that, it's revealed to her that, oh yeah, if you have your memories returned, everyone's gonna forget your existence. And she's just like, yeah, I'm okay with that. And before they do that, Axel comes back, and in another amazing cutscene, brings her back to Castle Oblivion because he just doesn't want them to stop being around each other and wants them to continue existing along with Roxas. And then basically Xemnas turns around, turns Xion into more of a puppet, and then just starts stealing way more things. Meanwhile, Roxas is kind of pissed at how much Axel had lied to him about all of this, so he fucks off and leaves the organization and doesn't trust them anymore and leaves. While he is leaving, he runs into Xion, and it's just like, oh, hey, sup. Xion explains what the situation is, who Sora is, how they're gaining their memories, and basically it's just like, we need to give his memories back. And he's just like, no, I don't want to. I want to be a full person. So basically, Xion forces Roxas to fight her so he can defeat her and get all of those memories back, and now they're all in one person, and now they can all go back to Sora. In the process of her dying, everyone does forget who Xion is in a cutscene that isn't as emotional as it should be because the pacing of it's weird. And then Roxas is just like, alright, I've got these memories of this girl who I can't remember. What the fuck's going on? But I know I fucking hate organization, so I'm gonna go kill them all. Riku shows up and it's just like, you're weak as shit and you can't kill them all. I'm not gonna let you do that. Also, I need your memories to give back to Sora. They start fighting, but Roxas is able to summon both Sora and Ventus's Keyblade. Again, they have their own Keyblade, so I don't know whose Keyblade Sora, like, Sora just got his own at some point, during all of this. And the only way for Riku to actually get the Keyblade, to get Roxas back, is to give in to Ansem's Seeker of Darkness to gain a lot of power. Takes him in, but he ends up taking on the form of Ansem's Seeker of Darkness, and it's now kind of filled with a bunch of fucking darkness. We got it somewhere here. So I completely lost where I was. Oh, because I skipped way too far. Whoops. Okay, sorry. Don't mind me. There we go. So yeah, with Roxas defeated by Riku, takes him to Diz. Diz is just like, people are going to look for him, so I'm going to turn him into Data, put him in the digital world, and then from there we can return the memories to him. He starts getting memories of himself and Sora back again, even in the digital world, and he's just like, what the fuck is going on? Again, and he doesn't even remember that he's been through this. Axel tries to take him back like a couple times, is stopped by the Diz or Roxas himself every single time. Eventually, Roxas does get his own memories back, his Organization 13 memories. And that is when he fights Axel one last time, and Axel's just like, oh, now you remember me when it's too fucking late. Thanks. And then Roxas is just like, we'll meet again though. And then Axel's just like, we won't get to though. When you go back and when you finish your thing, you'll get to be Sora. When I die, I don't get to be anyone. Which is a flat out lie as revealed in Dream Drop Distance, but he doesn't know that. So I guess it's not a lie. But it means that the story of how things work was retconned for Dream Drop Distance, because that game's fucking dumb. And then Roxas meets Sora, accepts his fate of returning all his memories to him, goes inside of Sora. Sora awakens, has his memories restored, comes back, meets up with Yen Sid, who explains to him that's just like, okay, we've now got multiple issues. The Heartless is still around. We've also got Xemnas, who is the nobody of Xehanort and is like the nobody of the person that Ansem Seeker of Darkness is a Heartless of. And he's starting to cause shit with Organization 13. Go and, like, try and fight them off. And he's just like, yeah, okay, cool. That sounds like a plan. Meanwhile, Axel kidnaps Kairi. Takes, like, 3 attempts to do it, but eventually succeeds. Takes her to the world that never was, the Organization's hangout, like, place thing. Sora finds the research base at the Hollow Bastion, like, learns that it used to be Radiant Garden, the place that was in Birth by Sleep a bunch, that got destroyed. I think when they did the Heartless thing to become Organization 13, I think that's when it became Hollow Bastion, or was it the end of Birth by Sleep? One or the other. But either way, they're there, they find the research base, find out what the plan for the artificial Heartless is, like that they're making them, fight 1,000 fucking Heartless. Xemnas appears and is just like, Mickey knows where Riku is, ask him. And then Xemnas leaves, Mickey chases him, and then Sykes appears and it's just like, hey, Sora, we're gonna use you to kill a bunch of Heartless so we can make an artificial, like, Kingdom Hearts. Oh, also, I'm now gonna attack you with a bunch of Heartless. What's your fucking plan? Let them take over everything or kill them and give into our plan? He's just like, well, fuck, that sucks. And then Maleficent appears. And actually starts to Sora. It's just like, yeah, but what if I use my own Heartless to fight them? So then your Keyblade doesn't kill them, so then their hearts won't be released, so it doesn't work. And then while they're doing that, Sora and friends fucking peace out and run away and try to go back to Twilight Town, and then they enter the digital Twilight Town to try and learn what the fuck's going on. And there they meet Mickey and they're like, hey, we found Mickey, and they I don't know if they ask him where Riku is, but they're not told at that point. Once they're in the digital Twilight Town, they're found by Axel, and it's just like, oh, cool. We've now got a bunch of nobodies attacking us. This isn't great. And then, like, 6 of the most basic enemies across the entire series appear. And then Axel's just like, well, better kill myself to kill all these basic enemies. Boom! Causes a massive flare. Dies, but doesn't die. And then it's just like, well, I got to meet you, Sora, and you remind me of Roxas, because you are Roxas. So I had fun with that. Oh, by the way, go fuck up Organization 13. I hate them, and they're the villains. And then just teleports them to there. So they just teleport to the final world. I swear I'll start playing the game at some point. And then they end up in the world that never was. While they're there, Roxas fights Sora inside of his heart, and it's just like, hey, why didn't Axel just turn you back into a nobody and a heartless so he could meet me again? And Wanda's like, that's a bit fucking weird. Nominate frees Kyrie, because the corridors of darkness that people have been using to teleport everywhere can literally just teleport you anywhere. So you can teleport into a prison cell somewhere that's being held, and then just grab someone and just fucking leave. Because it just gives you the ability to teleport fucking anywhere. Because who the fuck cares? While they are trying to escape though, they are attacked by, I believe, Syx. Riku shows up and protects them, but looking like Anthem Seeker of Darkness. And then there's this like Takari, oh, by the way, I'm Anthem Seeker of Darkness. Riku and Kairi manage to meet up with Sora, and they're like, hey, we're friends now, and we're all here. And then they start working their way, murdering a bunch more Organization 13 members again. Like, literally all but one of them are left dead at this point. There's only one that they didn't murder, and that's because, well, he was murdered by himself because he blew himself up. Also, I think one of the other Organization members murders another one of the ones in the Castle Oblivion. So they didn't kill all of them. Only like 10 of them they killed. While they're in there going through and just murdering a bunch of them, Xehanort is just like, oh, by the way, you know that Roxas is still inside of you, you haven't fully formed, and Roxas is like, is still there and still talking to you and everything like that, and it's still a thing. And it's like, oh, that's a bit awkward. Diz shows up, and he's just like, well, Diz / Ansem the Wise shows up, and he's just like, well, that's a giant fucking artificial Kingdom Hearts. I know what I should do. I should turn it into data, because Diz's solution to literally everything is, what if I turn it into zeros and ones, though? And that's his solution to literally everything. Diz is just like, yeah, I had apprentices, and I didn't stop them from doing anything, and then they kind of caused all these problems, and then every single person whose help I needed to actually help me along the way, I was an absolute cockface to all of them. I apologize, and then he blows up while trying to seal the Kingdom Hearts way, which like kind of damages it but doesn't really work. The explosion is so fucking sick and it's so fucking awesome that Riku turns back into normal Riku instead of Anthem Seeker of Darkness. And then they all hug and it's like, yeah, we're finally actually properly reunited. Maleficent and Pete show up once again to fend off a bunch of Heartless that are attacking them so they can continue going further, because Maleficent is now a good person in this, but becomes evil again later. Then they get up to the top. Xehanort opens the door to his Kingdom Hearts, which isn't the Realm of Darkness this time, and is just like a giant city. All the people enter, we start doing some revenge and shit, cutting buildings in half. They all end up fighting them. Xehanort is defeated by Sora and Riku, and they all plan to return home. Naminé and Roxas manage to appear and are just like, you know what, if these two can be together, then we're fine, like, becoming with them, because if they can be together, that means we're together. And then they finally fully absorb into Kairi and Sora and become full people. As they're about to leave though, Kairi leaves, Sora and Riku don't leave. Xehanort appears again, it's like, I'm gonna fight you again. And then it's like, cool, we're gonna do sick combo attacks and fight off a bunch of laser beams, and I'm gonna forget that I have to press both triangle and X to fight them all off, and then we're gonna do a sick ceiling keyblade attack on you and kill you. Bam! And then they end up in the Realm of Darkness after that, and then it's like, well, this kind of sucks. Then a bottle appears, and then they just fucking leave the Realm of Darkness after about 4 seconds of being there. And then everyone ends up all on Destiny Islands, and then it's fine, and everyone's happy, and we actually get a happy ending. And then after that happy ending, this is like, hey, Jiminy, all the stuff that I wrote, Jiminy is like, all the stuff that I wrote in this book, it's fucking gone, and I don't know why it's fucking gone. It only says thank Naminé, and their hurting will be mended when you return to end it. So, Mickey, learning from Diz, is just like, let's turn it into data, and then make a data Sora to go in there and find out what is happening with this message and why shit is missing. Data Sora meets Data Roxas in Data Castle Oblivion. They meet Data Naminé. They have a bunch of talk, and it's just like, Sora, Data Sora, the real Sora, is connected to myself and Xehanort and Axel and Roxas, and all of them kind of like didn't get their happy ending and you did. Oh, also there's these other three, Terra, Ventus, and Aqua, and none of them got their happy ending either, and you're connected to one of them, and they're connected to the other two. So, go and help them all. And Data Sora's just like, yeah, cool, because Sora's just like that. Then Mickey learns all of this, puts a message into a bottle, sends it over to, what's their name? The people in Destiny Island, Sora, Riku, Kairi, to reveal the message, and it's just like, yo, we need you to come over to Yensid's tower to learn how to be a Keyblade Master. Because now that Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, and Xemnas are defeated, the Heartless and Nobody of Xehanort, Xehanort will reform! Because that's apparently how it works now. So they're just like, yeah, we've got this threat of Master Xehanort's coming back, and you need to be Keyblade Masters, and also we need to work out how to, like, get all these other people back. So they're just like, we're gonna put you to the Mark of Mastery exam. And unlike Terra and Aqua, but your Mark of Mastery exam won't be hitting a bunch of light orbs a bunch. No, you have to go to 7 worlds whose hearts are lying dormant. They've been freed from darkness, but their hearts still haven't fully awoken, so they're not returned to the worlds of light. Dive into their hearts, unlock their keyholes, return to the world of darkness. And they're like, cool, let's do that. Sorry, I've missed something somewhere here. Oh yeah, okay, I skipped a couple things. Sorry. Diz and Aqua meet inside of the Realm of Darkness, and Diz is just like, I met a boy who saved the world. Hopefully he can get us out of here. And she's just like, is it Terra or Ven? And they're like, no, they're still dead. It was Sora. And it's just like, I'm Diz. Everything is data to me, so I implanted some data into Sora, which will hopefully get us out of here. Which I don't know why it's such a big deal. Riku has, like, accidentally gotten out of the Realm of Darkness twice. Mickey's done it once, and Sora's done it once, and it was all incredibly easy for them to do it, and Diz has already literally done it before. But no, Diz, Ansem the Wise, is now there, Aqua's there, and they're just like, no, we need them to help us get us out now. Because all of the other methods don't work now. We can't send a message in a bottle. We can't just appear in Castle Oblivion. I can't give into darkness again to escape, which that one I can kind of understand. I can understand the idea of Diz not wanting to do that again, because it kind of doesn't work. So they're just like, alright, the data that's in Sora, hopefully that'll get us out of here. Then, all of the organization members you saw in Kingdom Hearts 2 all also come back. Because their Nobody was defeated, and their Heartless, which we never found out what it was also defeated at some point, probably. Sure, why not? And now they're all back, because again, that's the rules of our Heartless and Nobody's fucking work now. No, it's not like the whole point of Kingdom Hearts 2 was like the reforming of Nobody and Person with Sora and Roxas was like a difficult thing that took an entire game to do. Nah, fuck it, you kill them both and they come back to life, so nothing matters anymore in terms of that. And so everything Axel said about you don't get it, I don't get a second life to meet you again, you do, was wrong. So that happens, but Zigbar and Syx aren't there though, and then it's like, well, that's fucking weird, because, you know, all of the others from the second game came back, none of the Chain of Memory ones came back, but no one fucking cares about them, so it doesn't even matter. Actually, no, I think one of the Chain of Memories ones comes back, because, the book one comes back, although maybe he didn't die in that one and came back into that one. I don't quite remember. I don't remember exactly what happens to that. Anyway, Sora and Riku start their Mark of Mastery exam to dive into the hearts of the worlds to open them up. Sora dives into the hearts of the world to wake them up, and Riku, unknowingly, somehow, I don't even know how it happened, I don't know if anyone knows how it happened, accidentally dives into the dreams of Sora instead, and becomes a Dream Eater to fend off Sora's heart from nightmares that start attacking them. While they're traveling through all these worlds, they meet a bunch of clones of Ansem and stuff, of like Xehanort and stuff. They meet Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, and they meet Xehanort, no, young Xehanort, and they meet Xemnas, and it's just like, and they're tormenting them, and it's just like, what the fuck is happening? That's weird. Axel, or Lee at this point, shows up, and it's just like, hey, can you teach me how to be a Keyblade Master? And he's like, yeah, sure. While he's learning that, Mickey's just like, I gotta go back to Disney World. Minnie's being kidnapped by Maleficent and stuff. And it's like, okay. And then they go back, and Maleficent's just like, hey, you know those data worlds that you made of the journals? Give me them. I want to go into them. I need stuff from there. And then Axel shows up and it's just like, I'm gonna protect you, bam, and then they fuck off and leave and just plan to try and do it again later at some point. While they're traveling through the worlds and waking them all up, what ends up happening is, I'm just trying to remember the exact order of this. Yes, after Sora's woken up all of the things, he's teleported by all of the Xehanort clones to the real world that never was. Not the sleeping one, not a dream of it, the real one. He's teleported there, and while he's in there, he's shoved into his own dream. While he's in his own dream, he's just like, okay, what are all these people that are, like, connected to me, and why don't I know all of them? I know Roxas. Who the fuck's she on? Axel I've seen. And it's like, oh, and Namine's here too. I don't know if I remember you completely, though. Oh, also, Terra, Ventus, and Aqua are here. Who the fuck are these three? All things that he should know because of the whole data thing that happens in Coded, and you'd think that would have been explained to him by Mickey, but apparently not. Also, while there, Xemnas is just like, hey, I have the ability to time travel now, and all these people that you've been meeting that are other me's have been me's that have been traveling through time. So I'm just been collecting like a bunch of them because Ansem Seeker of Darkness gave all of us the ability to travel through time. So now we're just all traveling through time and we're just doing all of that stuff. You can only travel through time without a physical form. You can only be a heart to do it, and you had to be there before. But hey, we'll work all of that out and it's fine. Xemnas is just like, the plan for this is, you know that Organization 13 I made before? Well, what the plan of it was to make all of them shells of beings, and then implant my heart into all of them, so there'd be 13 Xehanorts. But you killed a bunch of them, and then some of them grew their own hearts, and I couldn't take them over. So that didn't work, so I had you kill all of them. But now my plan is, fuck it. I don't need to turn as many people into myself. If a bunch of them are myself, I'm going to collect a bunch of me's throughout all of time and do that. And I'm still going to turn some people into myself. Because Xigbar reveals that he's already half Xehanort. Sora explains to him how that's nuts. Then we've got, so now at this point we have Master Xehanort, Young Xehanort, Ansem Seeker of Darkness, Xemnas, and Syx as well have all become parts of Organization 13 and are planning to all be Xehanorts. So there's another 8 that we don't know who they are. They reveal that it's just like, oh yeah, Sora, you're gonna be the last one. And they battle the shit out of him. And Sora kind of wins, but then he loses and takes too much damage to his heart, and they end up taking him back to the world that never was, and plan to do exactly that, turn him into the 13th vessel. Riku dives into the heart of Sora inside of the world that never was, sees Sora's heart sees Sora in there because Sora was transplanted into his own dreams, battles off a hooded figure that I don't know if we ever read explicitly who it was, and then Ansem Seeker of Darkness shows up once again. It's just like, I'm gonna take over your body again, and then Riku's just like, nah, you're not though. Fights him off, kills him, and then comes back and it's just like, oh, okay, Ventus's Keyblade armor has now protected Sora from the darkness, because now that Sora has been defeated and is in the world that never was, his heart is falling to darkness. So Ventus, in paying back the favor, turns his heart into his Keyblade armor to protect him so he can be corrupted by the darkness, so Sora's heart stays okay. They show up to the world that never was, the real one, and as Riku's there, it's just like, oh fuck, there's 13 of you. Fuck me. Mickey shows up to protect him from being attacked by all of them by activating Zawaldo. Young Xehanort shows up, reveals that he can move through the frozen time, and they do battle. They beat, like Riku beats them, but Master Xehanort completely comes back. And it's just like, that's not great. And then he's just like, well, time to turn Sora into my final vessel. Bam! Lee shows up, rescues them, and then it's just like, cool, I'm here. And then Xemnas, or Ansem Seeker of Darkness, one of them summons the stand Dark Side of the Moon. It's just like, I'm gonna fight you with this now. Donald and Goofy show up. It's like, well, now we're gonna fight. And then everyone is ready, and there's like a shitload of people all ready to fight over Sora. Then all the Xehanorts just kind of go back to their own time, swearing, we will be back. The real plan is to turn all of our 13 Xehanorts into the 13 shards of the X-Blade. And we're going to go and fight the 7 Keyblade, the 7 Princesses of Heart with their 7 shards of the Keyblade. And we'll recreate the X-Blade. Or you can or you can protect them with Keyblade Warriors, and you'll have that Keyblade Warrior of Light, and it will do the same fucking thing. And we're going to create the Keyblade and start another Keyblade War, and worlds will be over again. And you can't stop this because it's going to work. There's nothing you can do. The things that you do to stop it fall right into our plan, and it works as well. And it's like, well, fuck, that's not exactly great. Riku is just like, okay, Sora is still asleep though. Yensid explains to him that, oh, by the way, you've now done the test. You can awaken people's hearts. Dive into Sora's heart once again. Awaken his heart. He dives in. He finds Ventus's Keyblade armor corrupted by darkness. And then he's just like, alright, cool. I'm going to, like, fight this off and free him. And he's like, yay, I beat the Keyblade armor. And then he appears inside the data that Diz hid inside of Sora. Because again, for him, everything is fucking data. So he's in there, he speaks to Roxas, Xion, and Ventus, and frees Sora's heart and awakens him. And then Riku is just like, the data that I've got here, and along with Sora being connected to everyone, use this, and hopefully you can rescue everyone who has been fucked over and didn't get a happy ending in this series. And they're like, okay, cool. Riku comes back out, they find awakened Sora, and they're all happy. Yensid reveals, Riku, you have passed the mark of mastery. You did admirably. Sora, while you did well, you fell to darkness. Not quite you. And Axel, Lee, whoever the fuck you want to call him, is just like, hey, I've been trying to use the Keyblade too. Someone's a fucking Keyblade, because nothing matters for Keyblades anymore. Anyone can use them. Nothing matters. And then, in an extra cutscene thing, Maleficent is trying to get her hands on the Book of Prophecies that the Masters were using in the original fucking X game to read the future. Probably for nefarious reasons. So now that we're at the point where it's just like, okay, Xehanort and his clones are going to fight us. We need a bunch of Keyblade warriors to be able to protect them. It's going to fall right into his trap, but it's better to have people who can fight them off rather than just let them fight the princesses who don't have any abilities of fighting because they're all damsels in distress. And then it's like, okay, here's the plan. Kairi, you're becoming a Keyblade wielder too. Yensid, you're gonna train Kairi and Axel to become Keyblade warriors. Mickey, Riku, we have a way to access the world of darkness and hopefully bring people back with the data that we have from Diz. Your plan's to go there and bring back Aqua. Probably Diz too, but he's kind of a dick, so it doesn't matter. Sora, you got fucked up a lot during Dreamed Up Distance. Your heart almost got taken over and everything like that happened. So, you need to learn how to retrain yourself. You need to get the ability to awaken hearts because you need to awaken Ben's heart. I don't know if he mentions something that you gotta awaken Ben's heart. And he's just like, so you need to relearn your abilities. You need to take the Mark of Mastery. You need to learn to awaken hearts. Go to someone who has lost all of their power and regained it so you can learn how to do it. And they're like, Hercules, Olympus. So, we have now got everyone going to their plans. We have Mickey and Riku going to the Realm of Darkness to bring back Aqua and Diz. We have Kairi and Axel training under Yensid to become new Keyblade warriors. No one cares about Terra. We have Sora going to learn how to awaken people's hearts so he can bring back Ventus, and then he goes into his gummy ship, uses his Keyblade and his heart to open the world to Olympus Coliseum, and then we go into Kingdom Hearts 3. That took way longer to describe than I thought it would, but it is fine, and we are going to learn like this game is gonna start with Olympus Coliseum, so that's gonna be interesting. Like, it will start with Olympus Coliseum. So, that is episode 0. This will go up at the exact same time as episode 1, so this is just the story. So, stay tuned immediately right now, because they're going up at the same time, for the actual beginning of Kingdom Hearts 3. Because, wow, that took forever to actually explain the whole fucking story of this. Because, Jesus Christ! So, see you in Kingdom Hearts 3.